Namaste, and welcome to 10 Minutes with Dr. Marc Halpern. I'm Dr. Marc Halpern, and I'm honored to share this sacred time with you. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 elements. I'm going to give you an overview of all 5 of the elements and share with you how they relate to your body, how they relate to your health, and what function they have in your body. The 5 elements in Ayurveda are called the Pancha Mahabhutas. Pancha means 5, Maha means great, and Bhutus mean elements. So these are the 5 great elements, and the 5 elements make up all of creation. Everything in the universe is made up of these elements. But to really understand what I mean by these elements and how they relate to you, to your body, to your mind, we really have to understand that the elements are not meant to be taken literally. Each element is, even though it has a name that is very common, is more than its actual name. So let me give you an example. We're going to start off with the most subtle of the elements, the most difficult oftentimes to understand, and this is the element of ether. The ether element is that which is spacious. So in other words, it is the field that the other elements occupy. It's empty space. Ether is an idea, and it's an idea of emptiness, an idea of space. In fact, all the elements are really just ideas. To really know what an element is, it's important to understand its qualities. So what is the qualities of empty space? Empty space is expansive. It's slowly expanding. It also is absent of most other qualities, which means it's not hot because it's absent of fire. So it's cold. It's also very subtle. That's a very good quality to understand the ether element. So when somebody has a lot of ether in their body or ether in their mind, they have a lot of subtlety. The body is more subtle. It's not as obvious. It's not as easily observed. There's not strong features. Ether is the absence of the other qualities. Now, air is the idea of mobility. So ether was the idea of space. Air is the idea of mobility. Anything that moves is actually being moved by air. But again, that makes very little sense in and of itself, because when we think about air, we think, well, it doesn't really have the capacity to move a mountain, does it? Well, air is really the principle of force or the principle of motion. So any kind of force or any kind of motion is considered to be a function of air. This is why when we talk about the elements, we don't really mean the literal element. We mean a certain function or a certain principle. So air is the principle of motion. So it moves mountains, it moves water, it's the force of gravity. It is the wind, it's all of these things. And so air is the principle of mobility. The more air that you have within you, the more you will move, the more your body will move, and the more your mind will move. Air also has certain qualities. It is, in addition to being mobile, it's also light and dry and cold. And so if you have more air in your nature, you'll feel lighter, drier, and colder more easily than others. The next element is fire. Fire is the idea of light, heat, or transformation. So by light, I mean the light that is given off by the fire. Heat, of course, you understand, because if you sit next to a fire, you're going to get warm. And it's the idea of transformation, because fire is what transforms one thing into something else. So we all know that if you put wood into a fireplace, it gets transformed into ash. In your body, the role of fire is to transform the food that you eat into the nutrients that you'll need. And then those nutrients get absorbed into your body. Those nutrients are then used in metabolic processes. So there's more transformation going on inside your body. All of that transformation is a function of fire. So it's related to digestion, and it's also related in your body to metabolic transformation. Water is the idea of what flows. What typically flows is the rivers and the streams, but it means more than that. Again, all of these elements do. Water in this context also refers to any kind of a liquid, including an oily liquid. So in your body, Water takes on the role of plasma, for instance, that flows through your arteries and your veins, and also the oils that are secreted onto your skin. All the fluids and all the oils in your body are a function of water. Water is that which flows. It's moist, it's heavy, it is more gross, it's not subtle. You can easily see it, easily observe it. Earth is the last of the 5 elements. And earth is the idea of solidity. So anything that is solid is going to have more earth in it. So earth is responsible for making up the structures of your body. Think of your bones as an example. They're strong and they're solid. That's a function of the earth element. They're the heaviest of all the elements, the densest of all the elements. All of your tissues, though, are made up of it. Anything that is solid. So your skin, your muscles, your tendons, everything is made up of earth if you can easily observe it and it is solid. These are the 5 elements. So in your body, as an example, we'll go back to ether now. Ether would be the field of the mind. What does that mean? It's what's beyond your thoughts. There is a field that your thoughts fill. You may or may not really understand that, but if you meditate and you slow down your mind, you come to a place of observation. In that place of observation, you're experiencing the ether that is inherent and natural within the mind. So part of your mind is the observer, another part of your mind is the intellect, and another part of your mind are the thoughts. And those thoughts that move through your mind, well, those are a function of air. So each of those thoughts is the movement of air through your mind. And fire is responsible for digesting in your mind all the ideas and all the information that you are exposed to. And water in your mind is the soft feelings that you have. And the earth is really difficult to identify in the mind because the mind is not very solid. But you do get to be more solid in your beliefs, and there is a function of the earth there, but it is a little bit more subtle. So when you get more solid in your idea of yourself, more solid in your beliefs, this is indeed a function of the earth element, but it is a subtle function. In your body, ether is all the empty spaces of your body that is filled by air and by water. It's the space the other elements fill. Air in your body is responsible for movement. So that would be, for instance, the pumping of the blood. It has to be moved through your body. The movement of neurological impulses through your body, the firing of those impulses, that's all the function of air. Again, the fire is related to the metabolism of your body, the digestion of food, water to the plasma and the oils, and earth to all of the structures, whether it's the eyelash or the head or the bones or the muscle. It's all a function of earth. Now, we all have all 5 elements within us, but we have them in different amounts. We have different percentages of them. Some people are very etheric. Some people are very airy. Some people are very fiery. Some people are very watery. Some people have a lot of structure and they're very earthbound. We're all unique and we're all different, and that's all defined in our constitution. Your constitution describes how these elements come together to form the doshas. Ether and air form Vata dosha. Fire is predominantly what makes up the Pitta dosha, but there is a little bit of water. And the Kapha dosha is made up of water and earth. Your percentage of each of these doshas in your body defines your constitution or your Prakruti. And this determines all of the natural tendencies that you have for developing the structure of your body as well as the function of your body. Structure and function are both the result of the balance of the 5 elements and the 3 doshas within your body. And of course, it also affects your mind. So these are the 5 elements. I hope it's given you a little bit more clarity today and an opportunity to explore it more deeply. Many blessings to you on your Ayurvedic journey. Namaste.